Hey everybody, I'm trying to work out the lighting situation here. Let me just shuffle back. There we go. That works, doesn't it? Good to see some familiar names there on the side. See if we can get a bit more light. Light, come. It's slightly challenging. What about if I do this as well? Blinded by the light. Oh, that's very bright. Are joining currently, which is great. Somebody is saying buffering. Are we buffering? Confirmation? Yay, nay? I don't know. It looks like it's working from my end. The beginning of these live sessions is always very bizarre because it's just a case of me waffling on whilst people get notified that Spend More Time in the Word is live. Woohoo! So I'm just gonna waffle on. Bobby is here. Bobby is here. He's under there. There. Yeah, he's hiding away in the blanket of wilderness. He's gone now. He's done with this. But in case you're wondering, I'm tuning in from my van today. I'm not anywhere exciting. I'm on the drive, actually. But I have just returned from the Adventure Minds conference, which took place up north. Everywhere's up north when you live in Devon. Actually, we live right on the edge of Somerset and Devon, but I digress. So it was Adventure Minds is run by or initiated and hosted by a lady called Belinda Kirk. If you've not heard of her, now is the time to hear about her. She founded Explorers Connect, and she's written a book called Adventure Revolution, and she's insanely passionate about seeing people get outside for mental health and connecting adventure with well-being in all of the different places, from veterans to in schools and just the big wide world of how we can do this, because social prescribing and whatever that looks like. It was a whirlwind over 2 days. Fantastic connections, some good activities as well. Got to do some parkour, felt like proper ninja, and some abseiling, and had a little wellness walk with wellness walks. But yeah, just brilliant to see how many people there are who are change makers, because we are in a real time of change. We all here know and understand through first-hand experience the power of being outside for healing, for wellness, for creativity and inspiration. But how does that actually play out nationwide and internationally? How do we get that accessible to young people who are spending more and more time inactive and indoors? And how do we support veterans who feel ostracized from society? And how do we support people struggling with crippling mental health or physical disabilities? Because adventure, this is the thing, my phrase is that adventure is a mindset. But there's all sorts of notes I've written down about what adventure is and what we can be doing. And I really just felt like I needed to get myself to this conference in order to be in that energy field of inspiring individuals who are all trying to create a legacy and a ripple effect of positive change, because I want to be a part of that. I think it's very easy to look in at what I'm doing and assume that this is just a YouTube channel. But yes, I am a quote unquote YouTuber, but I'm so much more than that, with my heart and my passion. Running Wild as an initiative to inspire and empower people to get outside for mental and physical health is really one of the missions I'm on. But to get this as far and wide as possible through the medium of film, and that just happens to be my method of communication. So anyway, that was what I've been up to, and that's filled a bit of introduction time. So welcome everybody to tonight's live session. I'm really excited to just spend this time with you. I'm not going to keep you for too long. It's late, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys in the Northern Hemisphere, but as soon as that light disappears at like 4:30, I'm just like, cool. I'll just curl up on the sofa with some popcorn and just chill. But it doesn't happen. I'm working hard. I'm in a real bubble of putting in the work right now for some exciting things in connection with myself and with Wild, and again, just trying to create this legacy and create this ripple effect of positive change. But I'm actually here today to just bring you essentially up to date with some changes and stuff that's been going on. I feel like I've been putting exceptionally sporadic posts out on social media. In case you're wondering, I schedule them. So I very rarely type something out and click post straight like live. That's what stories are for. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook, if you click my profile picture and there's like a colourful ring around it, that means there's a story there. Apologies if I'm preaching to the converted already. But that's essentially live, and those stories last for 24 hours. But if you click on a post, quite often that's something I've written in advance, and then the technology schedules it, and it goes ping, and then it goes out to you guys at the allotted time. Now, some of the things I've been talking about in those posts, and certainly more coming up, is this rebrand, as I'm calling it. And for me, this rebrand, as I seem to have to say it like that now, has been, let's just say, a bit of a minefield getting to this point. I would say 90% of the work I'm trying to put in here is psychological, it's mental. It's really drilling into that why. It's stripping everything back that has become wild and me and identity and everything within this businessy sense, and getting back to that why and that bigger purpose, and what can I do to give back and ensure that I'm showing up in the way that I promise that I will show up. Because I think it's very easy to say, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. But when you say yes to something, you say no to something else. And so it's been a big old stripping back of everything. It's been raw. It's been emotional. It's wiped me out. Let's just put it like that. But I'm really proud of where things are going. And to sort of celebrate this time of change and almost like colorful explosionness of fun, I have managed to finally, after they've been asked and asked and asked for, get these electric orange Spend More Time in the Wild t-shirts out. I have a very limited stock. I have literally put them on my website today. Some people have already sneakily got in there and got their orders in. So much so that I've sold out of a few sizes already. I really don't have very many. So whilst you're listening to me rabbit on, and if you would like to get an electric orange Spend More Time in the Wild t-shirt, head to spendmoretimeinthewild.co.uk/store. Let me get that so I can share it. Oh, what is going on here, mate? Hang on. Oh, it's because this light is on it. I was going to share it with you and be helpful, but I'm being blinded. Help. Here we go. Is that going to work? Hopefully. That's the rough link anyway. Ta-da! You're welcome. So these t-shirts are exactly the same as the black t-shirts. They're literally the same t-shirt, just a different color. So they're wicking. They are odor resistant. They really don't smell. Like, I've worn these things for like 3 or 4 weeks, and man, you can get away with a lot. And I'm quite a stinky person. Let's just put that out there. You may not believe it. I know I'm beautiful and all that. This is going bad. But yeah, if you want to grab one of these, or two, Rachel, crack on with it. Now is the time. Put the orders in, because I'm probably guaranteed that by the time this live session's over, they will be gone. So the people who are saying that theirs have arrived already, these wonderful, wonderful people are members of my Patreon community. So Patreon is a platform that has been designed for creators such as myself. Putting content out into the world requires hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of work. It requires courage. It requires showing up in the face of fear, which is kind of courage. It requires dedication and consistency. It requires learning on the spot, making mistakes, being embarrassed, and so much more. It is a grind, and you have to flipping dig in and be full of grit and determination to do this. And this is something that I love about Patreon, because Patreon is this online platform that recognizes creators and recognizing that we can all live in a van if we want to, but some of us want to live in a home. Some of us need to feed ourselves. Some of us have a dog who likes to eat meat paste. And so essentially, Patreon is about creators being able to connect in a more intimate way with their fans and followers, who become Patreons if they join. Patreon, huh? Get it? Yeah, clever. And so there's 184 people who are already a part of my Patreon community, and it is just the most beautiful space. And one of the things I've been working really hard on over the last few months, if not the last year, sort of psychologically, is a revamp of this Patreon community. So a couple of weeks ago, was that right, guys? I sorry, brain malfunction. I basically I revamped my Patreon page. So I've changed all of the tiers, I've changed the names, I've changed what I'm offering. So there are things like postcards that I'll send to you from my various travels. I have my audio diaries, which are recorded live on the trail, which are nice ways to really interact with the experience that I'm having when I'm actually out and about hiking, from the highs to the lows. They're very raw. You will end up yawning because I'm usually recording them at the end of a very long day. They're unedited. You can hear the rain and the wind in the background. You can win. There's a giveaway tier. So I have Hillyberg Actos, I have Osprey rucksacks, I have coffee by Ridgeline and Outdoor Provisions. They've provided me some of their nut buses, which is all sort of made in the UK. What else have I got? I've got stoves. If you haven't seen the video that I just put out on last Monday, called I Dare You, that's essentially the video where I break down the different tiers. It's a fun interactive video to help you understand the different things that I'm offering, because there's a lot of information on there. And I think, some people can just wonder where their money is going, but the point is, it's completely up to you to join this community platform. I am not taking anything away with regards to the free content that I put out in the world. The hours and hours and hours of work will continue to be free and available, because my mission of seeing you get outside for mental and physical health and to share that message with as many people as wide as possible, like, I'm never going to sell that out. And this isn't me selling out. This is literally me being able to, I would say, put coffee on the table, but I'm now working with the fantastic Ridgeline coffee. So I have coffee currently, but it's helping me buy whatever needs to be bought in order to go out and shoot these films. There's a circle of life, and there's only so much that I can fund by myself. I think there's a misconception that YouTube pays loads. It really doesn't. Like, you can't, you see how many subscribers I have. Like, I can't live off YouTube. But one thing you can really do to help me out, if you don't want to join Patreon because it's out of your financial means, is you can actually, when you're watching my videos, there are a couple things that you can do. I don't know if YouTube's going to be like, you're not allowed to say this, but I'm going to try it because rule breaking. So essentially the adverts, the money, that's where things get monetized. We're not in control of anything to do with the adverts. Apparently we can select where they go, but I really do that. I just like click, done, publish. But if you watch an advert, or if you click on an advert, that is somehow, somewhere, potentially going to get a penny in my pot. It's not about subscribers, although please share wide, as far and wide as you possibly can. But it's the adverts really that make a massive difference. So that's just one little thing you can do to help me out. If you fancy sort of getting stuck in a slightly different way. But anyway, so that's my current little spiel. So the t-shirts are available. Hopefully you've purchased some of those now. Whilst you're there, I would like to just say there are plenty of other things that you could consider purchasing for Christmas. I don't want this to become a sales spiel, but I'm just going to really quickly say. So these are whittling knives. These are handmade whittling knives. Spend more time in the wild. Knives, they're made out of, is it yew? I think it's yew. Am I allowed to show knives on this thing? Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to show knives. Shh. There's a blade there. Quick, put it away. I'm sure I can show knives. Cool, knife. Take a risk. I'm sorry, there's so many like legislations and things now. But anyway, it's a really nice little bushcrafty knife. They're really beautifully made. I'm not getting that on properly. I'm going to stab myself. Help. That would be terrible. Every single one is obviously completely different. And yeah, if you'd like to get your hands on one of those, or get one for Christmas for somebody, everything I send off comes with a signed postcard from me and some little nuggets of goodness. Other things on the store as well is we've got still some wild buffs left. So this is the orange, and this is the green. Oh, doesn't matter which side I show you. So the green are limited edition. They are almost gone. And that's because I'm going to see if I can evolve some designs for next year. But anyway, that's the green ones. So do get your hands on those. Again, all completely hand printed. Everything I'm doing, okay, people might go, why are some things on your store so expensive? But if you're in the UK, this will mean something to you. If you're not, I apologize. But we have a company. Oh, this is going to also sound bad. I'm just cracking on with this. We have a company here in the UK, a big store called Sports Direct. And it's a great store because, it allows entry-level sports gear to be purchased quite cheaply. Although not always cheaply. But we also have, for example, a private independent store that makes their own clothes. Like, I'm striving to be the organically sourced, environmentally considered, handmade, care, love, passion put into product store, not a Sports Direct. I'm not looking for quick stuff here. Like, these things, the hoodies, everything have taken hours and hours and hours to come up with designs, to find the right product. Like, this is my hoodies that I sell, 100% organic cotton. Nothing but positive reports of these hoodies coming back. Again, got a few of those going on the store. And then last but not least, this was probably one of my riskiest endeavors to try and offer. So this is the Spend More Time in the Wild flask that's currently on sale. So it's a hot and a cold flask. So it keeps things cool in the summer and hot in the winter, unless you're different and you like hot things in the summer and cold things in the winter. Good for you. It's made out of, again, recycled aluminium. I didn't want to just like, yeah, let's just source some metal from a mine and not think about it, and then it's just in our cupboard. Like, with Wild, or what I'm trying to do with Wild, is expand our thinking so that being in nature and being close to nature is more than just going for a hike or a ride or a paddle or anything else. It's about living close to nature. It's about recognizing that we are a part of nature. It's our responsibility as stewards, as people on this planet, to do everything we can to leave the planet in a better place than when we've arrived. And so that's why I don't have stickers. Like, I've really debated it for so long. Like, how cool would some stickers be that you can slap on your car or your bottle or whatever? But stickers come with plastic. Like, this is cornstarch plastic in here, and then cardboard can be recycled. It's just, I'm trying to think about these things, and that's where the work comes in. So if you fancy a Christmas present for yourself or a fellow adventurer, then please get in there. Where is my method of communicating to things? I've lost it already. Never mind. Maybe Robert ate it. He probably ate it. Wait, oh, of course, it's lighting up the scene. Beautiful. Anyway, that's that little spiel. I'm gonna cross some things out. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is people have asked for a long time about the black t-shirts being a medium. They haven't been in stock for about 6 months. They're now back in stock. So if you wanted a black t-shirt in medium, go. Again, limited stock. I think, I have a handful there. Yeah, I think if these t-shirts prove to be popular, then I may potentially do a second print, see if I can get that done before Christmas, but no promises. Get in there now. Be there or be square, as I keep saying at the moment. It's a bit ridiculous. So anyway, I've talked about Patreon. I've talked about the store. Those are some things I'm really sort of evolving. Another thing I'm sharing with my Patreon community, because again, that's where I'm just a little bit more in depth in my evolution and personal growth and thoughts and thinking, is I'm going for a bit of a separation at the moment, and it's proving quite difficult. So I'm actually trying to separate myself off a little bit from Wild, and really work out where I want to steer Wild as, I call it an organization, but I'm trying to now use the phrase initiative, because I don't know whether I want to go down the charitable route. I don't know whether I want to go down the sort of community interest company. I don't really know, and it doesn't even matter. But what I'm trying to do is separate myself off. So that's the separation. Because you know what? In April this year, after 7 years of deliberation and stress and anxiety, I finally passed my mountain leader assessment. I am a qualified mountain leader. I'm a hill and moorland leader. As of tomorrow, well, Friday, I will be advanced first aid qualified. I'm just outdoor first aid qualified at the moment. Fantastic qualification. Recommend that to everybody. Outdoor first aid, 2 days, 16 hours. We, again, are responsible for each other on the hills, and I think it's really worth doing. Anyway, digression. So I am basically revamping my website a little bit to share the different things that I also have to offer. So whilst I run monthly wild walks and skills events, which is the 2023 calendar is evolving. Currently, I have events up until February. As of tomorrow, hopefully, if not Friday, I'll have March events up as well. So if you want to join me on a walk, or if you want to learn some navigational skills, we have things online now. That's, again, spendmoretimeinthewild.co.uk. If you click get involved, there's all the things you can get stuck in with. But, you know, I have done plenty of talks, and I love speaking to groups of young adults or workplaces or whatever it is, and going in and giving talks, telling my story, and sort of sharing how we are, again, a part of nature, and how we can bring that in no matter our environmental setting. It's just about sort of picking our brains, working together, and empowering each other. So if you would like to essentially bring me in next year to your workplace, if you think that's something that your colleagues or staff or whoever might be interested in, your scout group or whatever, then just drop me an email to admin@spendmoretimeinthewild.co.uk. It's really long, I know. But I'm excited. I'm speaking to a scout group in December, which is going to be super cool. I've got some festivals and things in the diary for next year, so hopefully I can meet some of you guys on the ground. But again, the heart, the passion is to come into your environment, to share my story, and hopefully just leave you with a proper good buzz of energy and belief that no matter the obstacles and challenges you're facing, that you too can get out and evolve yourself through adventure and through being out in nature. Remember, adventure is a mindset. For some people, adventure is scaling Everest or rowing across the Atlantic. For some people, an adventure is taking the dog for a walk in the park. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment from me. I just want to see you get outside, man. So that's my big passion there. So yeah, if you'd like to get stuck in with any of the walks and things, it's all on the website as well. The final thing the penultimate thing I'd like to mention, I'm actually organised today. Look at this, organised chaos. I have notes. Yeah. Is I have been working really hard again over the last few months to reconnect with my partnerships. So one of the things you guys have obviously seen I offer on my YouTube channel is reviews. These reviews, as I have the caveat with every single video, are completely authentic. They're completely my opinion. Sometimes a brand has approached me and I'll make a video if I decide, yeah, I'm interested in your product. Let me give this a shot. I think that could help people by reviewing this. Or I've approached a brand and gone, hello, like your stuff, want to tell people about it. You up for working together? Or I've just bought something myself, which is more often the case. But those companies that I have a genuine affiliation with, that I'm heartfeltly passionate about, I have asked for discount codes to be created. Essentially, some of these are kickbacks. So if you buy something, I get like some pence of money. Don't know what I get. I have no idea. Some of them are not. But they are initially just completely designed to help slightly remove financial barriers. So there are all sorts of different things. And if you would like that link to get some money off and see what brands I'm working with, again, considering Christmas, that sort of jam, boom, link on the side, boom, boom, boom. So have a look. That's ever evolving. I've already got 2 brands that I haven't added yet. So maybe check back again at the weekend where I'll be catching up with these things. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. Like, they're all brands that I genuinely believe in. If you're interested in the 2 that I haven't added yet, is Cicerone Press. They write Cicerone guidebooks. And then there's Fire Maple, which they create stoves and that sort of thing. But oh no, I have put Fire Maple on there. But there's the Hiker app on there. You can get stuck in, get 20% off. Terra Nova for tents and whatever else you want. Water to Go, which is about water filtration. There's Outdoor Provisions, which are beautiful nut butters and bars that are really just unique in their flavors and made out of compostable packaging. There's Tent Meals, oops, I clicked on the link, which again are looking to reduce plastic and really wholesome vegetarian meals that you can take out into the field. So there's loads of different things on there. Have a mooch around, drop them an email if you fancy, and that is that. I'll cross that off the list. And then I guess the last couple of things I'd like to mention is I'm working hard, as with everything, on my big edits right now. So the first film that has been voted in by my Patreon community, or one of the other things I wanted to mention within that community I offer is fireside events, is essentially what they call them. There's a tier where every few months we come together and we talk about a particular trail. So essentially it's like a seminar where I talk about the entire process, from idea to landing your first few steps on the trail to completing the trail, all the planning, the maps, the logistics, everything you need to consider. It's a place to ask all your questions and we'll dig into it together. And you guys get a chance to vote on the trail that you want to talk about. Ideally, it's one I've done before. So that's that one little thing I wanted to say. So again, that's on my Patreon community. But these Patreons have voted that the first big film from this year's shoots that I release is Iceland. So in July, I walked the Lurgaviga Trail. Was the most phenomenal, insane, inspirational, heart-exploding, mind exploding, lost for wordsing experience that I've potentially ever had. It has again just been another wall potentially on the foundation, that doesn't make sense, that I'm building in my life, in terms of my character and understanding what I'm capable of. So that film's going to be out in the next month, hopefully. I'm not going to give a release date yet. I have a date that I'm working towards, and the patrons can know that, but I'm not going to commit publicly because that's a bit scary. So that's that thing. And then if you are interested, the other trails that I have completed this year, I went back and did the West Hallam Way in March, April time. Just wild camp that. That was the third time I've done the trail. So it's the first trail I ever did, B&B'd it with my mum. Then I did it again, 2018. First trail I did when I basically started running wild, and I camped it in campsites. And now this year I went and did it wild camping. So I feel like the only thing left to do now is to do it in winter. Ski it. Anyway, so that's that. So where was I going with that? So West Hallam Way. Then we had some other various trips and stuff going on. I'm trying to remember now. The main trails that I'm editing though is Bornholm. Bornholm is an island owned by Denmark, south of Sweden. Confusing, right? I know. You have to go through Sweden to get there. You fly to Copenhagen, cross the bridge, down, and then you get the ferry to Bornholm. And it's an island. I've walked around it. One of my best mates lives there, and had a blast over 4 days yomping around the island with its castles and sandy beaches and forested coastlines, and it felt like I was in paradise. And it was just, again, phenomenal. So that's a film that's going to be out. Then there was Iceland. Then there was, what else did I do? Oh no, I have my brain. The most two recent trails I've just finished are the Hebridean Way. So again, my patrons are listening to my audio diaries from that right now. So I went up and did the Hebridean Way. And then I came down and I did the Hadrian's Wall path for the second time across the country with my good friend Anne. And I know that there's one I'm missing. What am I missing? Dun, dun, bum, bum, bum. Maybe I'm not missing one. I don't know. I've traveled a lot this year, so I'm just confused. So anyway, that's that. And right now, before I rabbit on anymore, I'm starting to conclude this thing. If you have any particular questions that you'd like to ask me, I have not been following the feed on the side. Please, can you just write it in capital letters on the side now? And then I'll see that. So we'll finish with a little Q&A session, anything you would like to know. And then I just sort of want to wrap this up. Why am I so cool? Actually, it is quite cold in here, mate, to be fair. Thank you. You make me blush. I don't know what to say to that. I'm not cool, really. I'm just doing my thing, you know. Anyway, so it's winter now here in the Northern Hemisphere. It can be particularly hard to keep getting active and moving. I find it hard. We live in a house that's always colder than the outside, always. It's really hard getting changed. That's my biggest barrier to getting outdoors. But I just want to remind you that you are part of a community. Whether you're in that Patreon community, whether you follow wild, whether you're a hiker, biker, whatever, you're part of an outdoor community. There are people and groups and events around you if you're struggling for motivation. Don't go through winter alone. Winter can be dark. It can be hard. For some of us, it's great fun. Just crack on with it. I feel like my resilience to the dark hours has really built up. But you know what? I'm self-employed. I work from home. If I know it's getting dark at 4, I'm going to be done with my outdoor career and exercise and filming and whatever that works out like by 4. But for a lot of people, we're tied in where the daylight hours are when we're indoors because that's the way it is. But I want to remind you, darkness is not the enemy. Well, it is in some ways, but the actual tangible darkness. Like, try and mix things up a bit, you know. If you're finding it hard to get moving, what about if you just take the car or the bus or some mates or whatever, and you just go out on a hill and you just look at some stars? Like, how can you connect with nature this winter? I will be running I'm planning to run a bit of an adventure challenge in January, so a different adventure that you can do each day. But just for a bit of motivation, because I know that this can be such a hard time of year for people, and I think we put obstacles in our way, we put excuses in our way, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or it's too cold, or it's raining, or it's too windy. But you know what? The other day I was like toying with going. I cycle it pretty much every day. It's just, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's just one of my biggest soul food moments. And it was really windy. There were 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it was pouring down. I'm just looking outside like, if this was a sunny day, yeah, I would be like, I have to make sure I'm on a safe, wide road where if I get blasted, I'm not going to be blown into a truck or something. But I would just crack on with it. So what's the problem with rain? Like, that's what clothes are for, layers are for, and this is where I feel like you build resilience through the more experiences that you have, because having just finished the Hebridean Way and Hadrian's Wall path, where it just rained and rained and rained and rained and it's bog and it rained and it's bog and it's rained and it's bog and it rained. I'm so glad I'm not there right now. The idea of going for a cycle in the wind and the rain here, knowing that I have a dry-ish building to get back into, is a real awesome thing, and this is where gratitude and just pushing ourselves out of that comfort zone into that stretch zone can really help us grow stronger as individuals. And you know what? The work we put in this winter, both psychologically and physically, is going to pay off next year in the summer when we're out and about trying to fulfill the trail goals or whatever it is that we have, whether it's fitness or exercise. Right now, I'll be completely honest, my main focus for my training, which is entirely unstructured and led by how I feel on the day, is about training my lungs and my heart, because I really just want to make sure they are as strong as possible for some of the stuff I want to jump onto next year. I feel like my body is in good condition. It's got enough wobbly stuff and enough hard stuff. It makes me quite happy. So it's like, cool, let's focus on this internal health. And then I'm also trying to really focus on stress reduction. I'm trying to focus on just genuinely being my inner positive self, which I know is who I am at my biggest core, but hasn't really been able to come out very much in my life. And I'm trying to be surrounded by people who bring that out and make me laugh and smile, and then I can spread that, because what spreads like wildfire other than fire? A smile. Absolutely. So there's all of these different things that we can play around with. So I strongly encourage you, like, when we sign off from this, maybe just set a 5-minute timer on your phone. Don't get up. You get up and this is going out the window. Write down, without thinking too much, 5 things that matter to you this winter that you focus on. Like, how do you want to feel by the time spring comes around? Like, so what do you want to achieve and how do you want to feel? Feeling is a massive one. When I was a personal trainer, which I still am, but when I had clients as a personal trainer, the last thing I would do is let my clients get on a scale. And I would only work with clients who are really on a mission for a more holistic and wholesome journey to health and wellness. Because we can look at numbers, we can look at different things, and it's like, cool, yeah, absolutely, it can tell us something. What about our visceral fat? How does that factor into our lifestyle? But you know me, I'm all about the full package. And so the way I would ask people is like, not, well, what do you weigh this week? It's like, how do you feel this week? What's going on in your body? And I would work with people like that, which is completely ironic because I feel like I've numbed my body. But I'm learning to get back into it. So that's the thing with Wired. Wired is about me doing this journey with you. This is, as I say, it's unedited. I mean, it is edited because Iceland, I've filmed nearly 20 hours of footage and no one wants to watch all of that. So I'm going to try and strip that down to 2 or 3 hours. But in general, it's unedited. This is completely off the cuff, raw, as real as I get. And you know what? I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about 2023 in a way that I've never been excited about a new year before. I'm still scared to put things in the diary. I find that quite difficult. Hence why the March dates are sat there ready to go. I just can't decide on the weekend. But yeah, I think there's some really good stuff to get stuck in with, wherever you're international, whether you're up north, whether you're down south. And if you have any thoughts, feelings, ideas, please just email me. I'm terrible at replying. I'll say that out front, but I will get your email and I will consider the things that you have to say. So I really just appreciate the time that you've given me today. And what I'm going to do is just read the comments. Rachel, I'm sure your comments just constant. Like when I have a brain malfunction, because I read one of yours. 3 Peaks challenge date, that is not arranged yet. Bear with. Yes, Dave. No one cleans their waterproof trousers. I certainly don't. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe they do. Apologies. I'm reading this backwards. This is always that weird moment where I'm just like staring into your souls whilst I read your comments. Wearing the t-shirt with pride. Thank you, Rosa. I appreciate that big time. Are you still vegan? I've never really called myself vegan other than that video. Actually, I think I start saying I'm not actually vegan. I call myself plant-based. So what that means is, as much as tangibly and physically, realistically, that's the word possible, I live off plants in whatever way that can be. But for example, just at this conference, there was some plant-based milk, but there wasn't a lot of it, and I really don't have a problem with drinking some cow's milk every so often. Just like there was some pasta with some cheese in it, I really didn't have a problem eating some cheese. So I'm not completely limiting myself. I do not eat animal. A pastry that has some egg in it, I will eat that. I can see that my internet is unstable. Why is my internet unstable? That's a bit weird. Okay, apologies about that. So anyway, that's that. I don't eat eggs as such, but hopefully that answers your question. So that's what I mean by plant-based. Mark has left. Bye, Mark. Oh, I'm so blind. I'm blind. Outdoor first aid. Yes, outdoor first aid is great. I don't think there are many more. Oh yeah, I see what's happening here. The leather situation. All right. Well, my hat is leather, so you know. Do you know what? I'm 26 now. I got this hat. Dave, correct me if I was wrong. When I was 13 years old. Is that correct? That's half my life, people. I have been wearing this hat. It has come to all the summits, the highs and lows in life, and it has been there. It's had my back, but actually more than that, it's had my head. So hat for life, bro. Yeah. Right. It's 5 years. 5 years, man. 5 years. I don't know what a Tilly hat is. I apologize. If this is an Australian hat, it didn't look like this when I bought it. It looks weird when I don't have sunglasses on. In fact, it looks even weirder when I don't have anything on. Quick, put that on. It's aged, shall we say? Look at this. Do you know what that is? It didn't get burnt by fire, my friends. I'll leave you to your imagination. Right, let's wrap this thing up because I have got some sweet potato in the oven. The oven is off. Health and safety first, kids. And you know what? I hope that one day my hat ends up in the British Museum. That's my life goal. This is the first time I've shared my van with you as well. I spent the last couple of nights in it. I absolutely love it. It was a very ad hoc buy or purchase. It was very cheap and it's cost me a bit more than I expected. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this van for, but I love it to bits and I will be sharing a video at some point with it. So folks, you know what? Really, seriously, honestly, from the top to the bottom of my head to my heart, from my hat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey. I know some of you guys have been here for a very long time and I really appreciate it. It just means the world. And for those of you who come and go, that's great too. You know, do what you need to do. But I will be here sharing my stuff and inviting you guys along for the journey as long as I possibly can, as long as I have the courage for. It's a tough world out there, and I want to own my space on this turf and do this well, do this right. So yeah. Thank you. So get your own t-shirts. All of that money goes full circle to supporting Wild, helping generate content. In fact, probably helping me purchase more t-shirts for now. But yeah, super grateful, guys. Enjoy your evening, day, morning, wherever you're up to. Don't drink caffeine after 12 p.m. Save yourself some caffeine. I'm sure you're all fine. And that's enough for now. Ciao, adios. I'm done. Stay wild, people. And bye from Robert too, who is in his cocoon. There he is, look. Say bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Take care.